Well, it depends. I mean, if you're working and you need to be thinking, the thinking's useful. You don't need to let that go. But if you are getting pulled by thoughts that aren't particularly useful, then you've got that technique to be able to let them go and put your attention perhaps on what you're meant to be doing. Or so let's say you're being distracted right now. Right now I'm jet lagged. I'm very, very jet lagged. I'm quite distracted just because I want to be sleeping right this moment. And so there's a sense of distraction that's happening. But I can let it go enough to try to answer your question. So let's a different example. In your case, you're working with a child, but you're also worried about something in your life. So you're working with a child, you keep having this recurring worry that pops up. You can let that go and come back. Bring your attention stronger onto the child.
So the child is represented, save your breath.
That's right, exactly.
Okay.
So whatever you need to tend to, whatever you'd like to be tending to in your daily life, tend to it without getting distracted. And what you might choose to tend to in your daily life could be something like you're going for a walk and you just want to enjoy nature at that moment. That's what you want. So you want to let go of all the other things and tune into the sounds of nature or the smell of nature. Whatever you choose to put your attention to, you want to be able to do that for as long as you want to. And you use your awareness to pick up on all these things that draw your attention away that are not helpful. If it's beneficial, include it. If it's not, let it go.
Okay, thanks.
So when I talk about attention and awareness, what a lot of people talk, and different teachers have different definitions of mindfulness. So some people talk about attention, some people talk about awareness. When you talk about mindfulness in daily life, really it's related, and I talk about it in terms of the combination between the two. But when we talk about mindfulness in daily life, we really want to be establishing the awareness really, really strongly, such that we don't have to work with attention at all if we don't want to. We can just be aware of what's happening, aware of our interaction with someone and how that makes us feel, aware of the fact that we're starting to get hungry and we might be getting a bit grumpy now and more irritable, or the fact that a headache is starting to form and so perhaps we need to be doing something. So building that awareness in daily life, that applies more in terms of mindfulness of daily life.
Okay. Like the thoughts.
Well, even if you're aware that they are thoughts, you're still aware.
Aware of that, like we do in meditation.
Exactly. And and there's nothing wrong with the thoughts, as I said, and you don't have to get carried away with it. But if you do think, you can still be aware while you're thinking. It's harder, but it is possible.
Yes.
You can be mindful while thinking. You can be mindful while reading. You can be mindful while engaging in a complex task. Yeah. So in terms of the awareness of whether or not they're thoughts, whether those thoughts are beneficial, whether they are clouded by something, whether they seem to change your mood in some way or another, and be aware of how you tend to gravitate to believing some thoughts over another. And also noticing when they're thoughts that kind of said, well done, and you've in the past just dismissed it. Yeah. Why do we why do we privilege one thought over another?
Yeah.
And why is it always the negative thoughts that we privilege over? Well, not always, but we all have certain tendencies. And so noticing these tendencies as well and being a little bit more even with our attention to whatever thoughts.